On Good Friday, Jesus hung from the cross between two thieves. On one side, one joining with the crowds and rejecting him. On the other side, one accepting the hope of a new story in him, a story of paradise and a second chance. As followers of Jesus, we live in between the same tension, between a world claiming him and rejoicing at a second chance, and one shouting, "Crucify him," while killing themselves in the process. We live in a Good Friday world, and on that cross, in between rejection and a coming hope, Jesus models for us making space and time to grieve the world around us, to grieve this tension. Jesus wasn't on the cross for a few minutes. He hung there for around 6 hours. He lived in the pain and bitterness of rejection, the sting of a world of sin. I don't know what that tells you, but here's what it reminds me. In the story of God, there is space for your pain. In the redemption story of Jesus, pain is not overlooked. The brokenness is not glossed over. The loss is not ignored. It's given space, excruciating space. It's filled with heartache, mixed right in with a continued weight of everyday responsibility. Jesus hangs on the cross, yet he remembers the responsibility of someone to care for his mother once he's gone. From the cross, he speaks to John and gives John the responsibility of caring for Mary. The dying of Jesus is real. The death process of him is real. It's honest. It speaks to each one of us living in a world of death while carrying a world of responsibilities. This time on the cross is one that cries out with questions of a devastated heart. Why, God? Have you forsaken me? And here's what the cross, what Good Friday reveals to us all. The sting of a sinful world. Our sin and sin done to us is, no matter how dark it seems, not the end of the story. Yes, the cross is real. The pain is real, the weight is real, the responsibility is real. The cost of sin is all around us. The cross may be a sitting point in a painful story, but it is not the stopping point. As Jesus stretched his arms out, he was making space for what was to come, and I don't fully understand it. I can't quite comprehend it, but the death of Jesus is not a barrier to life. It's a doorway to the living God. And on this Good Friday, let me just say this to you. We live in a Good Friday world, but even when it feels like death, he finds a way to make space for what is to come. Through Jesus, death is a doorway. Loss, brokenness, rejection, pain, it's all a doorway. It can be a doorway to the living God we've always longed for. The life we deeply dream of, he can use it all. All your pain, all the devastation, all the weight you feel. So wake up from your despair, because God has not abandoned you. No matter how dark it seems, on this Good Friday, we remember that the darkness will not overcome.